Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about 16 notes and how to practice them on the bass guitar. So just to clarify what 16 notes are. So let's say that we have a 4/4 time signature. Every beat, every click is going to be a quarter note, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. If we divide each one of those beats to 2 equal parts, that's how we get eighth notes. So we'll have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If we want to get 16 notes, what we do is we divide those eighth notes to another 2 parts, meaning every quarter note is going to be divided to 4 equal parts, right? So this makes it even harder to keep very equal and very precise. So the first thing that we want to do is know how to count them. Okay, so the language we're going to use for that, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, which belongs to quarter notes and eighth notes, we're going to be using 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay, now why am I explaining to you all of this? Because keeping groove starts here. If you can keep the groove here, it's never going to translate to your fingers, right? So for this video, I'm going to feature this cute little drum machine that comes in a pedal. It's called Beat Buddy, and I will be using this for this tutorial. I highly recommend practicing it, so if you want to know more about it, you can see more details in the info. So the first thing that we're going to do is practice with the Beat Buddy, and we're going to practice our counting and knowing all of our subdivisions. So let's see. So I'm using just funk number 3 in Beat Buddy, and it's really great because we can hear all the different subdivisions, right? So let's start with just quarter notes. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Once you got all this covered, then we're going to go to the 16 notes. Ready? 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, so with this machine, if this is a little too fast for you, what you can do, and you can of course use a metronome and do the same thing, we just bring it down a bit, because you don't have to start practicing fast. Actually, the secret of knowing how to play 16 notes well is practice slow and make sure that you're accurate with this groove. Okay, so one more time. 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay? Once we get this down, then we can start talking about, okay, how do I create those 16 note groups? So the first thing that comes to mind is, okay, we can just practice all the 16 notes within a quarter note. So we're going to talk about quarter note segments, because that's how I identify those different rhythmic patterns of 16 notes. We're going to call them words for this case. So the first word that we're going to use is just straight up all 16 notes, what we just did with the subdivision, right? So we can choose any note we want on the bass, really, and practice that, and we'll have 1 E and a. Now here's the thing, it's really hard to practice all the quarter notes in the measure, in the bar all together. That's just going to be really hard. So here's what I suggest you do. You count the subdivision before you start playing. You play the first beat, and you spend beat 2, 3, and 4 counting the subdivision so you can hit it just right coming into the next quarter note. So instead of trying to get 60 notes all together combined right when you start practicing it, you focus on 4. Once you get the 4, you can start practicing 8. Once you get the 8, you can start practicing more and more and so on. So let me demonstrate that first way. Again, I'm on 65 BPM. And a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 1 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a. And then once you feel more comfortable with it, If you want to give yourself a little extra challenge, I wouldn't go for all of them again. I would do maybe just the first beat and the third beat. So we have 2E and a 3E and a 4 and a 1E and a 2 and a 3E and a 1E and a 3E and a 1E and a 3E and a 1E and a and a 3E and a 3E and a. Okay? So this is the first beat. Once you got that, before you add the other ones, what I suggest to do is just take it up the tempo. So let's do it right now. So from 65, we're going up to 70, right? So you do 5 BPM up, just a little bit of a challenge to get your fingers kind of getting used to it. Don't jump like 20 BPM at a time. It may be a little harder. So just be slow, but gradual. 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2 and a 3E and a 1E and a 2, 3E and a 1E and a 2 and a 3E and a 1E and a 2 and a 3E and a. Alright, so you get the gist, right? Okay, so getting into the second word. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to start mix and matching 8th notes with 16th notes. So the second word we're going to be working on today is going to be an 8th note followed to 16th note. So instead of 1E, we just have 1, but we still have those 16 notes in the end okay? So instead of 1E and a 2E and we have 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. But the important thing to do is to keep that subdivision all the time. Now here's where playing with a metronome, playing with a drum machine, that's necessary, and find something that also perhaps helps you with that subdivision so you keep on hearing. Usually it will be in the hi-hat. Tick, 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 tick. Because even when you're not playing all the 60 notes, you want to be in tune with all the 60 notes all the time. So here's the second word, and you can practice it the exact same way. You start with the first beat, then you bring on the first beat and the third beat, and then maybe you can even just jam something with it. Counting subdivision, and a 1 and a 2 to the first beat. The third rhythmic pattern that we have basically features the two 16 notes coming into an 8th note. Instead of 1 and a, now we have 1E and 3E and 1E and 3E and. So let's just practice that one. 1 and a 2, 4E and a 1, 2 and a 3 and a 4 and. And then we're left with the last word, which is actually the most complicated one. So what happens in this last word is that we start it with a 60 note, get into an 8th note that is actually syncopated going into the last 60 note. So we have 1, our E becomes a little longer, right? Because it goes through the end and the A. So you have 1E, A, 3E, A, 1E, A, 3E, A. So it's really hard because you really got to catch that first 16th followed by the 8th note and that last 16th, and they're always very sneaky. But if you get it, you are promised extra groove when you do. So let's try it out. We're just going to say it in the beginning and then we're going to start playing it. E-N, 3-E-N, 4-E-N, 1-E-N, 2-E-N, 3-E-N, 1-E-A, 3-E-A, 1-E-A, 3-E-A, 1-E-A, 3-E-A, 1-E-A, 3-E-A. That's it. If you want to get your technique now to be a little bit better, what you do is you just bring it up 5 BPM at a time, and you get to a point where you can practice all those different words, recognize them, and that's how you can start playing things that are a little bit more intricate, featuring 16 notes. Again, don't be shy to play slow, fast. Make sure that it's slow, it's steady, it's accurate. If you just start playing fast and it's not accurate, it's just not going to sit really well within the groove. For more info about this, feel free to go to my website and check my other tutorials as well. Hope that this was of help. To know more about all the gear I'm using, you can also check out the information right here. Don't worry, the Sadowski is right here. It's going to be featured in the next video. It's not going anywhere. I was using my Mustang with my Coils Boutique P Daddy pickups to get this kind of like nice funky 70s sound. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing, comment, and let us know what you think about this, and I'll see you soon for my next video.